Hey everybody, Jim Cummings here. Welcome to my podcast, Toon'd In with Jim Cummings. We have a great guest for you today. But before we get to that, make sure you like and subscribe. Our podcast has partnered with the largest Comic-Con in North America, Fan Expo, the Juggernaut. We're touring all over North America live, so get your tickets and come be a part of the live audience. It'll be fun. Go to fanexpohq.com for the tickets. We'll see you in a city near you, or a little bit away, but you can drive. And with all that said and done, sit back and enjoy today's episode. And as always, thanks for tuning in to Toon'd In with Jim Cummings.
Wow, there's a lot of people out here. Wow. This is incredible. Who here has seen or watched or listened to Toon'd In with Jim Cummings before? A lot of you need to catch up. This is such a great city. This is going to be a great time. I just want to tell a quick story. For those of you who don't know, I'm producer Chris. I produce a podcast. And just 2 short years ago, it's crazy. This is surreal to me because 2 short years ago, we started the podcast. And we were doing it like guerrilla style. We went to a convention, we set up in the corner of the green room, and we were just pulling actors like, hey, do you have 15 minutes? Can we get a little interview really quickly? And now to be on the main stage at Calgary Expo is just, I mean, give it up. So cool. So cool. We got a really good show for you today. I'm going to introduce the star, the host, the legend himself, Winnie the Pooh and Tigger 2, Mr. Jim Cummings. There he is. How are you doing? Good to see you.
Hey, brother. We've done it again. My goodness. Well, thanks for all being here. Thanks, everybody. Is everybody happy? Oh, good. Wow, a lot of people. Woohoo! Hey, how about that producer, Chris? Yes. Oh, but wait, there's more.
There sure is. We have another very special guest for you today. You know her from Smallville. You know her from Saving Hope and many, many more. Miss Erica Durance.
Woo!
Give it up, give it up.
Yay! Bless you, my dear. Oh, fancy meeting you here.
I know. What are the chances? I feel so honored to be part of this. Thank you for having me here.
Thanks for coming out. All right.
My pleasure.
You're from here in Calgary.
I am. I was born in Calgary.
How's it feel to be back?
It feels great. I feel like I'm with my people again. I'm so relaxed. I'm almost not like, I'm forgetting to perform. I grew up in Three Hills, so farm girl for many years. And the weather does not surprise me at all. I find the wind bracing and cleansing.
Jim, you're familiar with Calgary. You've been out here several times.
Oh, yeah. It's a great place. I love it up here.
Yeah, it's such a warming city. It's
Yeah.
so friendly. I mean, Canada, of course, you know.
Yeah, I was going to, Canada up here, everybody's very friendly, and it's very good. See, I'm from a place called Youngstown, Ohio, and our favorite greeting to each other from there is, what's the matter with your problem? So this is great. I love being here, so thank you.
Now, for every guest we have on this podcast, I always try and find a link, you know, whether it be thematic, whether it be you've worked together before, you guys have not worked together before. So I'm doing my research, and one link I came up with is I think both of the shows that you're most popular for, Smallville and Winnie the Pooh, I think they're very appealing to families, very wholesome, you know? Yeah. And not only that, but I've heard you in other interviews say, you know, generations of families watch it. You know, somebody grows up watching Smallville or Winnie the Pooh, and then they introduce it to their kids and so on and so on. What is that like when somebody comes up to you and brings their child and is like, I introduced this show to them. I made sure that they had to see this, blah, blah, blah. I mean, so few actors have that opportunity.
Yeah, that's true.
So I want to know how that feels to each of you when you get that experience.
Well, I love it. I I'm very fortunate because Winnie the Pooh generation is of like 3 years. You know, we're making fresh Pooh fans every 3 years. Oh, well, there's another one. You know, as soon as they hear one old bother, they go, you know, and it's a 3-year-old. So it's a beautiful thing. I'll take it. I'm on my 57th generation now. So I'll take it. You're very sweet.
Yeah, I don't have that many generations yet, but it is quite something to share in something positive, you know, and something that connects us with our family, with roots, with a level of sentimentality but just reminds us of our goodness. And so when I was doing this 25 years ago, I was just kind of pursuing an art. And then now here I am talking to people, and they're telling me, oh no, this helped me through this experience and that experience. And so for me, if anything, I'm really humbled by that, and I think it's pretty incredible. So I'm grateful.
Yeah. Another link that I was thinking about was, you know, both protagonists, Clark Kent in Smallville, and I guess Winnie the Pooh is the protagonist, but I'm referring to Christopher Robin. Both take place around the character's formative years. What do you think is so appealing about, you know, seeing somebody before they're, you know, into adulthood, the coming of age stories?
Right. Yeah. I know what you mean. It's nice because you know, there's a certain age where your mind is open. Your heart is open. Your arms are open, and the more wholesome. Not without. I don't want to be all corny up here, but you know, it's better than. I don't even want to come up with a terrible example, but there's a certain time when we're open to the sweetness of the world, and before the world, there's plenty of time for the world to get in there and turn you into a sourpuss. So enjoy the time, the childhood, the open, the wide-eyed wonder. I always cherish that moment, and you know, I've got 4 daughters and now a grandson, and you know, and I distinctly remember saying, "Listen, don't be in a big hurry to grow up. Adulthood, it'll be there. Don't worry. The world will be there, and to give you all the grief. So enjoy childhood, enjoy this moment, and let it last." That's the way I feel. Yeah.
I think, you know, with the coming of age of Clark's story, you know, having been a little bit older, but I think that I'm going to just say what most people say to us is that it was a connection for them when they were also struggling to find themselves. Of course, we all get older and we realize there is no finding of oneself, and you never really know anything, and that also is okay. But there's a period of time in our lives where we're struggling for this sense of perfection. And so to see someone like Clark Kent, who really is, you know, kind of supposed to be perfect, struggle and have a hard time and be really, really human, was what I think brought people together, and that's why they loved it.
Yeah. And, you know, in my opinion, you're the best Lois Lane ever. And just what...
I think you're saying that because we're kind of family. So...
Well, I was actually leading into that.
True.
So how you mentioned, Jim, you know, people really relate with that family, the formative years. And to me, this is very special because I'm related to both of you.
Yeah, that's
and it's,
right.
you know, a little family
that?
affair. Yeah. If you didn't know, Jim is my stepfather. And
Hey.
Erica's...
He looks just like me, don't you think? In my dreams. Yeah, okay.
And Erica's sister Jenny is married to my uncle, so this is a little family affair.
I met you when you were a lot younger.
Younger. I've known you for a long time.
So this is really special.
Yes, it sure is.
You guys didn't know you were coming to a family reunion, did you?
We're just gonna talk amongst ourselves here for a little
All right,
bit.
who brought the potato salad? No one? Damn, let's keep going anyway. Okay.
So you joined Smallville in season 4. I wanted to ask you, how was that intimidating going into, you know, an already set cast and being like the new character? What did that feel like as an actor stepping onto that set with already, you know, people already have relationships, they already know the flow of the set, everything like that? Was that intimidating? Was that exciting? How did you feel about that coming in?
Well, it was exciting, but it was one of these things does not belong kind of scenarios. I really felt like, okay, who's this girl from Alberta who's wound up here doing this show with all these fancy people from LA? And but it was like this bullet train that was going that I just jumped on. And so I also had a kind of an odd sense of I'm part of something so much bigger than me, and I'm very, very, very lucky. I could never have foreseen that I'd be talking about it now. But yeah, it was intimidating, but I have to say the people that I was coming to work with were super chill. They're really nice and very welcoming. And so that really helped. And also at the time, I just came on for 4 episodes. So you guys know what it's like when you come in and you're like, it's a guest star. I'm going to come in, do a few things, I'm going to leave and build on it. And so it's only, later that I was like, oh, I ended up doing 150 episodes of it. Yeah. So. Was it
surreal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I didn't have a lot of time to get ready for it. And I've said this a lot. I got it on a Friday. I started on a Monday. And I just felt like I was just trying to catch up. So people were like, you made her kind of neurotic and all that. I was like, no, that was just fully me being neurotic, and it's caught on film. And they seemed to like that. So it worked out. Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Well, I personally relate to the surrealness of it. I have just a quick story about my own career. I was on the 100 for a few episodes, and thank you. And I had seen that show in college. One of my friends showed me this show, and he had the worst taste in television ever. And I was like, really? You're going to show me this show? So I agreed to watch the pilot of it. I'm watching the pilot, and I see one of my childhood best friends is one of the leads, Richard Harmon. And I'm like, no way. And then and there, I decided that I'm going to move to Vancouver, and I'm going to get on that show.
Wow.
And that's what I did. And I remember the day I stepped on set, I was like, oh my God, like, I'm actually here. Like, I can't believe I manifested this. It was wild to me. That leads me to you, Jim. You have a similar experience of taking over the characters of Winnie the Pooh and Tigger. Did you feel those same emotions? I mean, the surreality of it, the pressure, intimidation. How did that feel stepping into such large shoes with such iconic characters?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And, the thing of that is, I've been doing Winnie the Pooh and Tigger for a very, very long time now, for literally most of my life. But the thing is, when Pooh and Tigger first hit the public eye, it was back in the 60s, and I was in grade school. And they won an Academy Award for the first 3. They put them together. They were 22 minutes each, put all 3 of the shorts together. Then it was a movie, won the Academy Award, went away for 20 years. It was gone for 20 years. People don't think that, but it was. Winnie the Pooh and Tigger, the whole gang, they made a big splash and went away. Disney put it on the shelf inexplicably, because you'd think they'd be milking that baby, for some simoleons, for some serious honey, right? But they didn't, thank God, which gave me a chance to grow up. Yes. And then I've told this before, I hope I don't bore anybody, but they said, my agent said, they're bringing back the Winnie the Pooh crowd, the 100-Acre Wood Gang. And I go, oh, that's great. And and they're holding auditions. Oh, that also is really great. And there's Pooh, and there's Tigger, and there's, the whole Kanga. I didn't audition for Kanga. But I thought, honestly, I auditioned for, I didn't audition for Rabbit. I didn't feel good about that. But Owl, Pooh, Tigger, and Eeyore, and obviously in Pooh and Tigger. And I thought I really crushed Eeyore. I said, wow, I'm so Eeyore. Thanks for noticing me. Not bad. Apparently not good enough, but not bad. Excuse me. So I went home feeling really good, and talked to my agent. Well, what do you think? What do you think? And I go, I am so gonna be Eeyore. And so, like 2 weeks later, I get a call, and she goes, okay, I've got good news and bad news. And I said, oh, great. Yeah, don't you hate that? I said, all right, what's the bad news? She goes, you're not Eeyore. I said, oh, come on, who's Eeyore? And they go, Peter Cullen. So, Optimus Prime, he's Peter Cullen. you know, you lose to Peter Cullen, you didn't lose. He's just better than you. There's a lot of that going around when it comes to me. And I said, all right, well, what's the good news? And she goes, well, you're Winnie the Pooh and Tigger. I said, well, to hell with Eeyore. Eeyore Schmeeyor. You know, so I had to suffer through. And I have all the honey you could ever imagine now, so it worked out. Yeah, crazy story, but it happens. What, and give up showbiz? Yeah.
Erica, I was watching you in an interview with Michael Rosenbaum, who's a fabulous interviewer and actor, and obviously your co-star. Yes. And you said something that really stuck with me. I'm going to read it here. You said, talking about your character, you said, it's less about me and more about what I represent. And I think that Jim really embodies that as well. Yeah. Could you kind of expand on that philosophy as an actor?
Well, I think it's really important when you're approaching work as an artist to recognize the space that you hold, and we're here for a minute and then we're gone and could be replaced by other people. And our point to be here is to tell whatever story it is that's in front of us, and we're lucky to be part of it. And I just happen to be able to play a character that is beloved and has been created by this fabulous person and had so many incarnations. And so when you kind of keep that in mind, you're also able to take feedback from the other people that are helping you, and they give you advice and they help to create a character, so that otherwise I think then if you don't keep yourself in that spot, you miss the magic of it. And then you miss all sorts of beautiful moments that you could kind of come up with. So yeah, that's great. And it makes me think about you too, Jim, because I mean, we were just talking the other day about a character versus an impression. And you were saying, you know, a character is when you truly like embody what it is. And expand on that, please.
Yeah. Well, you know, a lot of people. People come up to me all the time, and they go, "Oh, well, you know, I do Pooh, I do Tigger, I do Darkwing," and I go, "Oh, that's great, do you?" And they do, and they are terrible, thank God. Well, sometimes they're pretty good. Sometimes they're pretty good. In fact, there's a guy out there who does impressions of cartoon characters, and he's pretty good. But then what they forget. And especially with voiceover, it's easy for this to happen because it's just a microphone. Doesn't matter what you look like. And they'll do a sound, and they'll have the sound, they'll have the voice, it'll be there and this and that. But what they forget is they're not acting. They're just reading a line and then saying, "Don't I sound like this person, A, B, or C?" And yes, they do, but they kind of stink too, because. Okay, yeah, now can you do that when you're sad? Can you do that line happy? Can you do that confused? And Jess Harnell, I think I've said it before, but when it comes to being a voice actor, it's a small V but a capital A, and that's the thing, and it also helps in this day and age, any day and age, to be able to sing in character, because that's kind of cool. Because there's a lot of that. It's just one more feather one more arrow to put in your quiver, so to speak. Yeah.
Erica, you've said that, I've heard you say in another interview that you feel like you've changed as a person, over the last 20 years. How do you feel like that informs your acting? And if you were to play Lois Lane again, do you think that would manifest in a different sort of character?
Yeah. Thank God I can't revisit it in that way. I think that there's characters that you play for specific times in your life, and whatever you're going through is perfect for that time. And I had different jobs that did that for me. But thank God we can evolve into different versions of ourselves. And I look back on that really fondly. But yeah, I mean, in 25 years of life, you do a lot, you go through a lot. And I think that there was a lightness and a fragility to her, and a spunkiness, and just this sense of belief that she had in the incredible, that I don't know if I could manifest that in the same way now. So I might be a little bit of a killjoy. So maybe it's good that I step away and just let her kind of exist like that.
And when I heard you say that, it made me think about you, Jim. And do you think that the way that you play, any of your characters today has evolved or changed from when you first voiced them 30 years ago?
Yeah, I think so. I think a little bit because, I think the idea is to be true to the character. You don't want to change. I mean, Pooh's not going to show up and become the Hulk. It just wouldn't work. But you have to, because otherwise you're just kind of treading water.
Yeah.
As an actor, you're just treading water. And you're recycling. Oh, bother! And you can only say that so much, and then it becomes a bother. So don't bother me with oh bother. You don't want to hear that. So the challenge is to keep it fresh and to keep it moving forward. And with that said, we rely on writers, our unseen, unheralded friends, and without them we don't have it. We're mimes. Yeah. And I'm not good at miming.
Do you ever? So when I was in college, I did a lot of stage plays and everything, and sometimes, it gets so repetitive that you kind of play like games within the show. You know what I mean? Like you kind of do something a little bit different to kind of mess with your co-stars and trying to get an authentic reaction, almost like, just to keep yourself entertained. Do you feel like you do that with your characters?
Yeah, I do. I do. Because I'm a notorious, for whatever it's worth, ad-libber. And the line. My joke is that I'll do something as written, and then I'll do the line as it should have been. And the writers love you for that. But the fact is, though, if it works and and the producers buy it and they think, oh yeah, leave that in, and the writers go, yeah, I wrote that. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, you're right. I should get an award. And so it's kind of crazy.
Well, I know you've mentioned before, I forget which magazine it was, but it was talking about the top 10 Hondo Ohnaka quotes.
Oh,
and
Vanity Fair.
Can you expand on that? Yes, Vanity Fair.
Yeah.
I love this story.
Are you guys hip to Star Wars? And have you ever heard of that? I don't know.
You got to give us a little Hondo. You got to give us a little Hondo.
It was Rebels and Clone Wars. And Hondo Ohnaka is my fellow there. Oh, by the way, I have good news. I have an investment opportunity for each and every one of you. Just file by. Give me no more than $100, no showing off. And I will invest it for you and get it right back to you eventually, someday, maybe. Okay, maybe not, but you will have a fun time. So yeah, I'm sorry, I'll shut up soon. What was the hell was the question?
The Vanity Fair quotes. The Vanity Fair quotes.
Oh yeah. I was so flattered. This is like 10 years ago. Vanity Fair wrote this thing, and it was called the top 12 quotes of Hondo Ohnaka. And one of them was, well, I may not be as young as I once was, but I'm older. And, and for somehow or another, people started glomming onto that. And there were the top 12 Hondo Ohnaka quotes, and I'm proud to say I made up 10 of them. So there you go. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
You have to tell that story.
Yeah,
Are you an improver, Erica? Do you ever get the chance to improv on set?
Not on that set so much, and I would say that it may not be my skill level. It takes something. It takes a level of bravery, courage, talent, maybe that I don't have. But I found, like, in answering your question from before of, like, how do you keep it fresh, I think that life was imitating art sometimes on the show. Like, if you spend enough time with people, the person that you were with them in season 1 is going to be very different than season 10. And so you can kind of keep it fresh that way. And you figure out a vibe with each other, and you can kind of joke around and have fun. But at the end of the day, there's still a level of shyness that I have that I haven't, like, stepped out to do something like that as much.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think that I'm pretty introverted. I do better with like deep.
You're introverted?
Yeah.
There's like 1,000 people here.
Yeah, but I'm like, I don't know how to explain it, but you're not like, I'm not me right now. It's very weird. It's like I have a task and a job and I'm chatting about something specific. But when I've done any level of making anything up, it's generally for when I was on Saving Hope. And somehow the grounding of like really deep emotion was easier for me than comedy. So I don't know.
Interesting. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Welcome.
That leads me to, this is kind of jumping topics, but I like asking all of our guests this. And in your career, who has been a person that's really inspired you or that you looked up to? That's it.
And that's it. For myself, I met a lady when I was 5. And she was the most spectacular human being I have ever seen in my life. And she wrote plays, and she let me tag along and be her second daughter. And I went to all her plays, and she wrote music, and she traveled all over the world with it. And she's the reason that I act at all. And she just saw this girl that had an insane amount of emotion and didn't know where to put it, and not knowing what to do with. She's passed on now, but her name was Kathy, and she was my hero.
Wow. Same question for you, Jim.
Yeah, well, as far as somebody that
inspired you or somebody that you worked with where you're like, wow, that's incredible, and just really admired their craft.
Well, I was such a contrary kid that, when I was a kid, that, because I've said this before, I knew that I wanted to do what I ended up doing when I was 5. I saw it on the Jack Benny program. Mel Blanc was on there, and my dad goes, "You see this bastard?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, hey, "I'll tell you what. He's the one that does that Bugs Bunny and that Taz and that Daffy Duck that you watch on Saturday morning." And I thought to myself, well, he doesn't have to stand in the corner for being weird. I'll do that. and so I did that, and that's it. Yeah, I mean that was and now I'm Taz, and now I don't have to stand in the corner. But
you know what? I think we all had to stand in the corner at some point.
Yeah,
there's a group of us.
Well, and plus I was from, I don't know about you, I was from Youngstown, Ohio. And you tell people, well, what are you going to do? I'm going to be an actor, and I'm going to do funny voices, and maybe I'll be in a movie and maybe a TV show. And they go, of course you will. Someone take this kid's temperature. He's not well. And because you were supposed to grow up and work in a steel mill and do that for like 20 or 40 years and then retire and lose money on the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. And so I did something else, that's all.
Erica, you just got me thinking when you said you're an introvert. I'm actually going through that in my head. And actually, in my life, I've met a lot of introverted actors. One thing that I have an opinion on, that I want to ask you, do you feel like playing a character allows you to kind of express yourself more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the one place that I feel like I can have the emotions, and my emotions that change gears pretty fast, and they can be pretty big. And it's the only place there's no judgment for that.
Yeah.
And otherwise in life, I can be a tornado and an absolute mess, and people are like, I'm sorry, you shifted way too fast, and where are you at, and why are you so intense? And the comment about me my whole life was intensity, and on every report card in school was like, Erica has the potential to be a good leader, but she's unstable. And I was like,
unstable?
Well, guess what? I'm going to take that instability and put it somewhere.
Yeah.
So it works out in that zone, and it really feels great to exercise that emotion.
That was your superpower.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
It's worked out. So ha-ha to all the teachers. That I was a psycho.
Boy, that's so true. Good for you.
And that makes me think about you too, Jim. I mean, I wouldn't consider you an introvert. I know you very well.
Doing it, yeah.
But it makes me think of the aspect of, we've talked about this before, but when you're asked to do a character or a voice in your own speaking voice, and that kind of freaks you out a little bit.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're similar in the way that, playing a character allows you to expand and, go places that maybe Jim Cummings wouldn't go. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it's like that's like the worst thing. And thank God, because I'll be the mailman or somebody who's delivering something or the shopkeeper, and I'll say, well, what does he sound like? Oh, just use your own voice. What? What the hell's that sound like? And they go, perfect. And so, because it just throws you. I think it's nice to have something to hide behind. Yeah. Because you can't act if there's nothing there. The people that I don't have that ability. I'm just not good enough. Damn it! There, I've said it. I hope you're happy. No, but it's just nice to have something to hang your hat on. Yeah. To you know what I mean? It's like, can I do it as an old prospector? No, your own voice. Oh, fine. And I can get through it now. Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking about this in preparation for this show, and both of you, had, your most popular moments, I would say, maybe I'm wrong because look at all these people out here right now, but in a time before social media, social media has not only changed, the entertainment business, but, the world itself. And I want to ask you, if your approach to acting or voice acting has changed over that course, if social media has influenced a change in that at all, and if you feel pressured to be a part of social media.
That's a good question. What do you think? I don't know.
I was not part of it for a very long time, and it wasn't until the 5th season of Saving Hope that they said I had to get on Twitter.
Interesting.
And I was like, okay.
Like contractually, like you have to?
Yeah, they're like, you've got to.
kidding.
And now if you go to if you sign any contract now, they'll be like, what are your handles? What is your social media account? And that sort of thing. And I stayed away from it for a very long time, mainly because I don't have the imagination really to think of myself as a third person or to assume that somebody wants. I'm always surprised when they're like, you should just post a reel about something you're doing. I'm like, why? Nobody's going to be interested in this. Right. But I'm trying to take a different tact, which is, try to be flexible, try to see how you can use this as something positive, maybe a message you can put out. Is there something you want to say in the world? Is there something you want to do with it to counteract some of the negativity? But I certainly loved the time of life where I could just go and act, and then the studio would take care of all the publicity, and you'd go to the circuit, and that was easier for my comfort level. But I would say if I focused on the positive side of things, it's really brought a lot of people together. And if you use it as a tool where you can find your community, then I think it's a really great thing. But it's also, it's a little scary.
Yeah.
So you have to really think about it.
Yeah, and I'm not good at it. Sorry. I'll post about doing something here or there, and somebody goes, okay, whatever. But as long as people get a kick out of it, it's almost like a bit of a, necessary evil nowadays.
And I think social media and the internet in general has really changed voice acting even more than acting, I think, because, when you were doing it, back when you started, there was a very small circle of voice actors. Not a lot of people even understood what a voice actor was,
that's true.
And now, you can audition from the other side of the world, and all these people have so many different voices and characters and everything like that. Do you feel like it makes it more accepting? Do you think it's more open now than it was? Or do you think that it's harder because there's so much more competition?
Well, that's a good question. The way I see it is, I think if you're good though, they're going to make room for you. There's the old what's the expression? There's always room at the top. So get out there and hone your craft and work at it, and then you can use it as it's a tool, isn't it? Social media.
Yeah.
It's very much a tool, and it wasn't there when I was first coming up, but it's there now. And what's kind of nice about it is, I'll do conventions here or there or wherever, and you're in the middle of Kansas, and someone's going, well, I got a job being the third goober on the left in a Kellogg's commercial, whatever, and I think, well, good for you. How'd that happen? Well, I auditioned and I sent it into my agent in New York, and the kid lives in Smallville, and so more power to you. It's a tool, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
so.
I completely agree with that. And like any internet, social media, I feel like exactly, it's a tool and it can be used for good or bad. It's still somewhat human for now. It's
Until we're all under AI.
Yeah, until Skynet takes over.
Sorry.
But yeah, it's a tool, and even like mentioning AI, I believe that's a tool as well. I don't believe that it's inherently evil or bad for artistry. I think it's a tool that you could use to enhance. I mean, I use the example like filming like a scene of Lord of the Rings. Rather than having like 100 artists, rendering, all these orcs running across a battlefield. Who knows, if you're doing like a short film or an independent film, maybe you can use AI for that, something like that to supplement your crafts. I don't agree with, just using it to whatever. And that's just my personal opinion, but we can go down that rabbit hole another day.
True enough.
Erica, oh, shoot, what was I just going to ask you? It was on the tip of my tongue.
We were thinking about AI and
your
all of us got
favorite
sad. I was trying to think of a support group we could all join.
I remember. So obviously being in the world of Superman, were you into comics as a kid growing up? Like, were you a comic reader? Did you have a favorite superhero or anything like that?
I didn't read a lot of comics. I did like Superman and Lois Lane. I watched the movies that were out at the time. And I actually read a lot of Archie. So I did a lot of Archie comics and Betty and Veronica and stuff. And I was like, later I'm like, wait a minute, these archetypes aren't the best. But
so Veronica or Betty?
Oh gosh, well, when I was younger I thought Betty, but now I don't know. Veronica had a spine.
Okay.
She had some boundaries.
Fine.
I think I followed Betty and she had no spine. I was like, Archie sucks. He's a jerk. And she's like, hey, I love you. I'm a good person. So.
Had to ask.
Yeah.
If you could play any superhero, who would it be?
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman? That's a great answer. How about you, Jim?
Darkwing Duck.
Yeah.
That's way better.
He set me up for that. I owe you $5. I'll tell you. Yeah.
Can you give us a little more Darkwing?
Yeah. Well, I am the terror that flaps in the night, the wicked scourge that pecks at your nightmares. I am Darkwing Duck. So there you have it. Yes, indeed. Thank you.
Were you a fan of Winnie the Pooh growing up?
Well, I mean, I was young. So I didn't know if I was a fan at the time, but I did like Winnie the Pooh. And actually, my father reminded me of Winnie the Pooh a lot. Bless his heart. And so, yes, I did like it. And it's only now in recent years that, all the memes come up about Winnie the Pooh. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that is such a good life lesson. There's so many beautiful, beautiful things in there. I actually wish, I mean, it is current and it's here, but my goodness, if I had known at the time that was the kind of programming I was getting as a kid, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's safe.
Yeah. And I know you went through a kind of tough breakup, and you were telling me that, that was kind of, Winnie the Pooh was kind of your comfort in that time.
3 a.m. doom scrolling. And I had to curate my page because it got nasty. And then I clicked on a Winnie the Pooh thing. And then I started crying. And I'm like, oh, Winnie, I get it. And then it was like, that was my feed. And so I don't promote doom scrolling, but let's be honest, we all do it. And if you're going to doom scroll somebody, you should doom scroll Winnie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I cried a lot. And that's the first thing I said to Jim. I was like, Jim, I went through a hard time a few years ago. And I cried and cried watching your stuff. It was very therapeutic.
I'm so glad to have helped out. It's so lovely of you to say so.
Thank you. Oh, I really do want to cry right now. Don't you? Oh
yeah,
my God, Winnie.
It's so sweet. Yeah, a lot of people come to the table and and it's funny because I think, with me, I do a character voice and they don't know who the heck I am when I'm talking, but they'll say, well, can you do it now? And I'll say, well, yes, but only for a smackerel of honey. And I look up and they think, how did you just do that? You were just sitting there. And then and they think it's because they think, I guess a lot of folks think it's like the studio that does it or the microphone or something. I don't know, but yeah, it's
all you.
Yeah, I guess so. But no tricks.
I'll never get tired of seeing people's faces change. I remember the first time I met you. Yeah. I met you, it was for a It was for a college project,
Yes,
and you were
that's
gracious enough to bring me along to one of your
Sure.
recordings. And I remember sitting there, we were having lunch right beforehand, and I think you were kind of trying to show off a little bit, and you ordered our food as Winnie the Pooh and Tigger. And I remember I was like, oh, and looked at the waitress, and she was like, oh, and it just like, it rockets you back to your childhood, you know?
Oh, yeah,
like,
that's true,
it
that's
really
true.
just like triggers this nerve in your mind where it's just like, oh my God, I'm a child again. And like,
Yes.
it's so easy to forget that we were all kids. I don't know. Do you agree with that? It's like, for some weird reason, like you get into adulthood and, you know, everything's so structured and everything like that.
Yeah.
You forget about that like freedom of being a child, and like a little voice or a sound or a song
Brings you right back there.
brings you right
it's
back.
true. It's a free trip to being a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we have about 5 minutes left. We wanted to do this little skit for you guys.
Oh, here we go.
It's a scene.
It's pretty fun.
It's a scene from Smallville, and here you go. I'm gonna give this to you.
Now, it's a bit sassy, and now I'm regretting it because I'm being really sassy to Winnie the Pooh, but
Thank you.
forgive me.
Okay. Wait,
So Erica
Lois
is gonna
and
play
Clark.
Lois Lane.
I don't
and
see Pooh anywhere on here.
Jim is gonna play
He's gonna.
Clark Kent, but as Winnie the Pooh.
Oh boy. Bring your imagination with you, will you, please?
My goodness.
Oh my goodness is right.
Okay.
Oh, good. You have bigger lines than me.
Whew.
That's
Good thing
that's
we
a
can
good
read
sign.
these together.
Oh my gosh.
There is-
Well, this is what's known as a cold read,
Yeah.
which is a disclaimer up front, which means if I screw something up, it's a cold read. So
pressure.
I don't
pressure.
have that same excuse, but because I was supposed to know these lines at one
Fine.
point. But okay.
So we're back in Smallville, are we?
Okay. Yeah. Do we
Okay.
start now? Okay. Can you say action? I can only.
Okay.
I can only do things when people say action.
And action.
I thought you'd be outside Lana's dorm room with your binoculars by now.
I appreciate the concern, but Lana and I are none of your business.
It's so hard to be mean. Oh, come on, Smallville. I've had 3 exes put under military surveillance. I'm hardly qualified to dish out post-relationship tact. But it's time for some tough love. Lana's gonna move on.
She already has. With Lex, and he's a woozle.
I know, and it sucks. But you gotta trust your gut that you did this for a reason. Whatever reasons guys have for dumping hot, smart, funny girls these days. Look, give her some space, Clark. Your whole Night Stalker routine, that is gonna ruin any of the good feelings Lana has for you.
If there are any.
This is crazy. Look, okay, let's try again. Look, sometimes you gotta tuck your feelings away until it's the right time, like stuffing dollars into a piggy bank for a bike you can't quite afford.
Did you say into a piglet bank? Oh my goodness. Except I can't quite imagine there is anyone else out there.
Well, you never know, Clark. Maybe when you finally crack open that piggy bank, you'll find that all this time you haven't been saving for a bike. You've really been saving for a Harley.
Heavy sigh. There are times when I think you don't know me at all, and others where I think you know me better than anybody. Even Christopher. Christopher Judge, not Robin.
Well, that's what I'm here for, Smallville. One save at a time.
And there you have it.
cut.
Yay.
Give it up. Great job.
Ladies
Great
and
job.
gentlemen.
Well, that was a lot of fun. Thank you both for doing this.
That was
great.
good
Thank you
idea.
all for being here.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks,
If you're not
folks.
subscribed to the podcast, you better subscribe, watch, listen. It's on YouTube, Apple Music, iTunes, all that good stuff. It's everywhere. We really appreciate you guys. Once again, I'm Christopher Judge, Erica Durance, and the legend Jim Cummings.
Hey, thank you.
Thank
Eric.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me here.